Hello, my Maple Leaf fans. Welcome to the Maple Leafs Availability Media Conference for their Saturday game against the Carolina Hurricanes. So, kicking live to their Media Availability Conference right now.
How did you feel coming off the break? What sort of impact do you feel like that's had on you?
Yeah, it's nice to get a little reset and have some family time, and then yeah, also great to be back. You miss it after a while, and good to be back on the ice and around all the guys.
Where do you think this team sits? You've dealt with a lot of injuries over the course of the year. Coming out of this break, how does this team feel to you?
Yeah, obviously important part of the year. We put ourselves in a good spot, and now it's up to us to sort of take advantage of the situation that we've put ourselves in, and we know it's going to be a lot of tight games, tight hockey, as there's so many teams competing for a playoff spot.
What stood out watching the Four Nations games, if you've been able to catch up?
Yeah, it's been great. So I mean, I've enjoyed watching it, and props to all the guys involved. They've been playing their asses off.
Any friendly wager between you and Jake tonight?
No, we might get something going, but we watched the last game together, so it was we were yelling at the TVs, but no,
Times, I'm sure.
yeah, it was it's fun. As I said, it's props to the guys involved. They're playing extremely hard, and it's fun to watch. I think not just for me, for everyone sort of tuned in. It's been great.
Were you surprised at all, not just by the level that they're playing at, but the commitment, the fighting, the guys playing through injuries?
I mean, I think once I sort of said, I think once someone got hit first after the first shift, then it was just gonna be sort of guns blazing, and I think that's sort of what it's been, and it's been hard playoff hockey with the best players in the world.
What do you think it's done for the attention in sport in general, just because everyone seems to be talking about it?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great. I mean, not obviously the Canada-US game was incredible. Probably the best game I've watched in some time anyway. So in any sport, not just hockey. So, but yeah, I think a lot of people are talking about it, and it's great for the sport.
One game winner take all kind of situation is so unique. What do you recall about what it was like at the Worlds and the gold medal game?
Yeah, I mean, you sort of I think sort of feel each other out the first little bit, and no one really wants to make that first mistake, because you saw how tight checking the last game was between Canada and US. So I'd anticipate something very similar tonight.
McDavid ends up scoring that first goal in that game. What did you notice about him in that environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think he said it a lot. He's been waiting to play a best-on-best tournament for a long time. So, I mean, as a lot of guys have. So, he obviously is picked off where he's left off in the NHL to this tournament, and controlling the game, and it's been fun to watch.
As far as you guys go, the Leafs, Chris, what do you have to do you're within 3 points, the Panthers are first in the division. What do you have to do to kind of make a charge and perhaps win the division, do you think?
Yeah, I think we need to just play the right way, get back to what we were doing well, defending well, need to have good special teams both ways, and play a team game where we're all involved and doing things for each other, and I think that'll go a long way.
Any messages to the Austin Mitch, or do you leave them alone during this time?
We talked to Mitch after he scored the goal against whoever I was with on vacation, but we were pretty fired up for him, but haven't spoke to Austin.
Is it weird to see them kind of going head to head?
Not really.
No?
I don't think so. I think they're probably excited about it, to be honest, so it's it'll be a good test for both teams.
What do you think it might do? It's impossible to know, but like for them to be in that environment, as a fellow player, you can kind of respond, kind of identify, like, what do you think they could do for them?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully they bring that energy back to us and sort of springboard us to where we want to get the last month and 2 months of the season, I guess. So.
Do you get a chance to talk to William about the experience since he's been back?
I haven't seen William yet, so I have not talked to him.
Why is Amazon paying me $63,000 a month? Well, I didn't make this kind of money selling yoga mats and toasters, and I damn sure wasn't talking my friends into buying vitamins and juices. I did it with a free app that's probably already on your phone, and that app is the Kindle app.
And the crazy part is, I didn't create this system. Carla taught me this. Carla, why don't you tell them more about it?
I'm going to show you a way to potentially make money by pairing Amazon with the power of AI without ever selling physical products. And I promise you've never heard about this before. I just created some simple digital products, then I put them up on Amazon, and it was so exciting. The first time I tried it, I made $14, and I was like, oh my goodness, this actually works. Hi, I'm Carla Marie, and the coolest part is Amazon puts over 3.
How have you felt coming off the break? What sort of impact do you feel like that's going to have on you?
Yeah, no, it was, heard you guys talking to Tanny a little bit. I agree with him. It was just nice to spend some time with family and get away for a little bit, get some warm weather, and it's nice to come back to snow, honestly. It's fun to see how much snow we got, especially my first winter last year was a little disappointing up here. So I always say if it's going to be cold, it's might as well snow. So it's good.
You're liking this right now?
I like the snow.
What's your commute like?
I like the snow. My commute to the practice rink 7 minutes, so it doesn't affect me. We walk my daughter to school, so it's it'll be fun. It's fun for my kids to play in it, so yeah, I don't mind it.
You'd be used to this growing up, I guess, too. Right?
I am. Yeah, it's very nostalgic for me. I'll be at the outdoor rink tonight, getting with my kids on the ice, so it's good stuff.
This team has dealt with a ton of injuries over the course of the year. Coming out of this break, where do you think the team sits, sort of health-wise?
Yeah, we've done a good job all year, honestly, dealing with injuries and other guys stepping up and showing our depth throughout the lineup, whether up front or in the back end. And it's been a nice break, even for guys that have been playing that may be dealing with something, or especially the guys that have been banged up, get a couple extra weeks of not missing games and rehabbing. So just a nice way to recharge the batteries physically and mentally. We've been on the road a ton, so especially guys with families, it's nice to spend some extra time with all of our young families.
Hey, Jake, I know the focus on us playing well every night now, but you guys have a shot at the division title here. What would that mean to the group to win that and put yourselves in a good spot going into the end of April?
Yeah, absolutely. I think in this last stretch of games, everyone's fighting for something. Guys, some people are trying to fight to get in play-in position. Some teams like ourselves are fighting to stay in play-in position and climb the ladder in our division. And it's going to be some good hockey down the stretch here, and it's important to find that consistency quickly after the break and get back to our winning ways.
What has stood out watching the Four Nations event?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, hockey's been the talk of in the States especially, there's been a lot of talk in the States about how successful the tournament's been, and it's great to see as a fan of the game and growing our sport. And I think that's what we've been seeing as players for a while now is the best way to grow our sport is to be in the Olympics and showcase our best talent, best on best. And I give a lot of credit to the guys playing in this tournament. Here I was sitting on the beach and they're grinding away and, best players in the world working their butts off and showing a lot of pride for their own country. So it's been phenomenal all around.
You surprised at all, not just the commitment, the level of play, but the guys being willing to play through injuries at that tournament? And
I'm not overly surprised, honestly. Maybe some outsiders may thought that wasn't going to be as intense, but I think once my experience wearing my country's colors and representing my country in the past, it's a great honor, and it's obviously long overdue now. So the players have been chomping at the bit for this opportunity, and it goes to show with the level of commitment that they've made, like you say, even playing through injuries and having that playoff mentality and checking hard and fast hockey. It's really, I'm looking forward to I've been watching, of course, and I'm really looking forward to the match tonight.
Chris was saying, guys, watch the game together. Is that kind of cool to share that with your partner there on the blue line and this experience? And I don't know if you watched together tonight, but
yeah, we were able to Yeah, me and Mo were able to watch it on vacation, and our kids were asleep, but it was yeah, it was funny that that first 10 seconds that everyone was talking about in the last matchup. It's good stuff, man. I don't know. It's U.S. Canada bad blood. I dropped my daughter off at school. There were some kids wearing Canadian jerseys, and I should have chucked her a USA jersey on her. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun to talk about. It's fun to feel the buzz around it.
What makes the rivalry special from your perspective?
Yeah, I think just Canada's been the marker almost over the long time, and I saw a stat that Crosby was like 26-0 or 23-0 or something, representing his country, and then the U.S. won the other night, which was great, and that's even growing up, we always got up for U.S. Canada. That was the game that we always looked most forward to in international competitions, whether it's World Juniors or U18s or whatever it was. Those are the players that you grow up playing against, and guys playing against them in junior or college or whatever it is, and matching up against the best. You want to play your best and show that you're the best too. So we have a lot of pride as an American. We want to be the best country we can as far as hockey goes and growing the game, and we've done a good job of it so far. So I'll be rooting for the fellas.
The pressure of leadership at an international event, wearing a letter on your chest at the World Juniors for the U.S. Why do you think Austin is suited for the role?
Yeah, just I think the best, especially in these tournaments, the best way you can lead is just through example, and Austin does a tremendous job of that every night, just through his play and his commitment to being a 200-foot player, an elite goal scorer. I think he's gonna have a great game tonight, and good in the face-off circle, just all those little details that he's really good at. I'm sure he's putting on display for Team USA, and I'm sure he's been great in the room too. There's obviously a lot of captains in the tournament in general, so there's a lot of good leaders in the room and in every room. So I'm sure it's been a great experience for them to play with some of these other guys that have been leaders around the league for a long time, and yeah, it's just an overall a great experience. I'm anxious to hear what they think of it and from inside the room and their experience with it all. I'm sure it's been pretty cool for them.
We saw Pacioretty was out briefly. Is there any kind of update on where he's at?
Yeah, he went out and tried to do some stuff, but it was a no-go. So I don't know. We'll see where he's at tomorrow.
Probably not looking good for the weekend.
Well, not right now, unless he recovers really quick tonight.
You don't like the 3 practices in a row outside of camp. Why is that the case?
Well, then we're going to have 4 practices. I like practicing the day before the game, and it's 4 in a row. Then we got back-to-back games. It's a lot, right? So we go 2 workout today, day off. There's we went out and got some touches, some guys and stuff, but nothing too tough. And then we need to have a good practice tomorrow, good pace, and then we've got back-to-back games.
With Austin and Mitch playing tonight, would you consider at all giving them a rest for that first game back if they felt they needed it or whatever, or do you kind of need them to field a roster?
You got somebody that's going to go in and play? If you
Like
come up, I know. No. As of right now, I mean they're playing the game, so these are big games.
Austin and Mitch, they've never won a winner take all like a Game 7 in the NHL. I'm just wondering what you think. One of them is going to be on the winning side here tonight. What that may be able to do for them moving forward.
Well, definitely. These are big games, and people can say what they want. There's a lot of things involved in these games. A lot of pride for your country, obviously. A lot of emotion. These games are intense, and playing in a game like this is very good for them both. Being in this situation, and only one of them's going to win. But it's just getting a taste of what it's like, in my opinion. And just the intensity of it, the emotion that's involved. Every play matters. Every shift matters. And it's tight. There's not a lot of room out there. You got to work for your room, and you got to work for everything you want to get out of the game. You got to work for it. It's a highly competitive game.
You know Jordan Binnington
Yeah.
You were around him a lot. What have you learned about his ability to elevate in these
Yeah,
environments?
he's always been a big game goalie, in my opinion, for us anyhow, when I was there. I can just going through the playoff run that year, Game 5 in Winnipeg, big win. Game 7 against Dallas at home, big win. Game 7 in Boston, big win. Even going back to after that in the playoffs against Colorado, he came in. I started, Husso started, and that's in the Minnesota series, and Binner came in, won games, won Colorado before he got hurt. Like, he was playing extremely well. He's done really well in big games.
Would you have stuck with him through the whole tournament like Cooper did?
What I've seen so far, yes. I mean, he's played pretty well. I mean, goals go in, right? But he's made some big saves at big times for Canada.
You talk about the job that John Cooper's done, managing all the stars and all coming together at the same time and trying to get the best out of them.
Excellent job. I thought that that adjustment they made against Finland with the lines was really good. Chemistry looked better. Just it's hard to manage all those stars, right? It's hard to get them to all buy into the role. He's done an extremely good job of that.
What did you like about what you saw with Marner and Cirelli and Hagel? Because it seemed like those guys really seemed to click.
Yeah, they all work, right? They're all real good defensively players. They all check well, and they do provide chances. They create chances off their work. There's 3 good workers there, in my opinion, and 3 good players that know how to check.
Cooper said he's been working on his speech before tonight's game for months. You had a pretty amazing speech, quick little speech there before Game 7. How much thought goes into that for a coach?
I didn't really think about it, to be honest with you. I went out and it came to me. And I'm a kind of a spur of the moment guy with it a little bit. I always try to feel what our team needs at that moment, like before, do they need a pump up speech? What do they need, what's going into each game? And I'm sure Coop, he's done this job for a long time with Tampa and stuff. He's going to come up with something good for sure.
What's it like coaching in a game like that? Like, it feels like every shift matters. You don't overreact.
I think, you get a pulse of your team in the morning, which, I think where they're at, you can tell a little bit in practice if they go out and have a morning skate or meetings and stuff. You can get a little bit of a pulse of the team, where they're at, what do they need, going into the game. Are they real nervous? Are they pretty loose? Or where they're at? I think that's important to try to alleviate some of the stress that they're going through. And if needed, if not, then, if they're feeling good and they're ready to go, that's great. But, I think you prepared them. They're prepared. They know what's at stake, and they know how hard they have to compete out there every shift. There is some adjustments that you could possibly make, but for the most part, it's up to them. They're going out and playing.
Final score prediction?
I'll score. Canada 3-2.
Marner hat trick, 2 goals now.
I'm sure it's going to be a tight game. You think it would be anyhow, but you never know. Everybody thought the Super Bowl was going to be tight.
Definitely.
You never know what happens, right? That's why we got to play the games. All right, thanks, boys.